Now then, and welcome back to another episode of Stoneblock 2 on the NemGo server. Welcome back. FTB Stoneblock 2, and I've not quite gotten into all of the grind yet. Not quite, but I know it's coming. It seems strange that these quest books become a grind. To start with, it's quite interesting to do all these things. I'm going to do these sort of bits and pieces soon. Storage, I've just done a load of storage ones, so I'll show you that in a bit. Chickens, we did all the chickens ones. Cows, it's just amazing how many cows there are, and then you're going, wow. Mystic, yeah, okay. Draconic, going through Draconic, that's almost like a tutorial, going through, figuring it all out. Got to complete the mod. Project E, cheatiest mod in the game, and most expensive to get anywhere, really. Well, hey ho. And the Extreme Crafting. Extreme Crafting to get an infinity everything. That is the be-all and end-all of the Modpack. The infinity everything. It's horrible. The amount of these and these you need to get, which is all of this. It's so much stuff, and you can see why you need all the cows and all the chickens and all the mystical agriculture all working together as fast as possible to get you all the stuff you need to make these. It's crazy. And if you can EMC them, even better. Right? All of those things leading up to an extreme crafting nightmare. And I can see that that's going to take a long time. And then this suit of armour and weapons and all that, they're pretty good. They are pretty good. But by the time you've done that, completed the pack, move on to the next challenge. And then there's little old Thorncraft. Little old Thorncraft. Love a bit of Thorncraft. And because it's running out, I'm going to have to start doing this soon. So I'm kind of... I don't want to skip... Like I did the chickens, I kind of skipped ahead. I think I'd probably skip ahead with the fluid cows as well, because Ego's spent all the time doing them. And I don't really want to spend all that time waiting for them to breed the same. I can show you how it works and then I'll click them all off. Mystical Agriculture, we'll probably do that because it's fun. Draconic Evolution, I've not done this before, so we'll do that. Project E, I think I'll do this as quickly as possible, whenever possible. Extreme Crafting, again, it's just a hell of a game. So we've got lots of things that I want to be doing in the meantime. So I think I'm going to start by sorting this out. This is my current AE system. It's currently craftable of all sorts of these, crafting its own things, which was the idea to start with. I would like an AE system that can craft its own items. So as you can see here, this is all the craftable items I've set up so far. So the crystals, we can use the plan to put everything into there, and then the growth chamber does the rest of the work, and I need to start pulling it out. We've already automated all of the inscribers. We've automated how this inscribering works as well. And these are the actual like molecular assemblers, and on the back there are interfaces telling you what patterns to craft. And then I've got this on here which also says, hey, pulverizer, when I give you a piece of this, can you turn it into that? Yes, and then it can use those recipes for crafting. But I've dumped all these in here, and I've quickly gone through all the quests and all that, and this section here doesn't sit right with me. So for a start, I'm going to rearrange it as I think it needs to be done. And there we have it. It's been a while. I've done quite a lot of stuff, really. But it is better. Much better. I've also done this wall. So now we're flowing around the side here. We've got our quarry system. We've got all our thermal expansion machines. And that from Cyclic, a packager, just because. And then we've got all our applied energistics crafting side of things, and on this side we'll have all of the other machines, the Ender IO type machines and stuff like that. But I thought I would do this side first to show you what the plan is. Right? So for a start, let's go outside, because we had to go with the bigger picture for a little bit. We had to go with a little bit of a bigger picture, and the bigger picture is a beautiful AE controller, or ME controller. Applied Energistics 2 has this beautiful controller block, an ME controller, and every single face of it, we've used just one block before, but you're allowed to make it within a 7x7x7 area, so long as it's not all fully connected all the time. So I believe that it can't be like two next to each other, two adjacent within the same area, so it can't be like a grouping together like that, but it can be 3 together like that, and 3 together like that, and 3 together like that, and all that. So, yeah. It's not allowed to be a full block, though. It's supposed to be cool looking, I guess. Lots of surface area is key. Lots of surface area is key, because every single surface area is 32 channels. So here, we have one of these big cables, and each one of these lights means a certain number of like channels is being used. Right, so here we've got 5, 10, 11. So there's one on the final channel. Right, and on this one we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Or 25 at least. Something like that. Anyway, it's something like 5 per line. But it lights up and it tells you in the Walia up above, 24 out of 32 going from there. So there's 32 channels from each face. Okay, so it's important to have as many faces as you can, so you can do all sorts of neat tricks with applied energistics. Pay attention to this. This is a neat trick. This is a P2P tunnel. This will take 32 channels from the AE controller and beam it through the AE system to someplace else where there's a point-to-point tunnel. And I link the two devices together to make that work. So that's where one thing is linked at the minute in my workshop. So let's have a look in the workshop now. Behind the scenes of the workshop, we have this, because I didn't know where else to put it. This rabbit, because somebody decided to come behind the wall and can't get back out again. Silly rabbit. Right, so the rabbit's not part of the master plan. The rabbit just happened to be here because rabbits like to be behind the wiring. Yes. But anyway, we connected most of this up in the same way as we've connected everything else up in the previous. Let's have a quick munch on some flight, some coarse fruit flight. That gives us a couple of minutes. All right, so there's little cable anchors here, and they basically stop them joining together. So that, for instance, on this section, there's one channel on there, and then there would be one channel somewhere else. Coming down from the top there, there's 24 channels in total coming down here, right? And then it splits off. So that goes all the way up through, and that goes to the AE thing that we've just seen, right? And so 24 of 32 channels are going back up to there. We've just checked that, and I miscounted, I'm sure, 5 per channel line, something like that. And then we split that. So in this first area here, where there's lots of machines all connected up, including this storage bus into the back of the roost collector, there are 7 of 8 channels in that section. I've had to put these anchors in so they don't join on with other areas, making more than 8 channels. So it's all disconnected, and so it's all connected through itself there. These molecular assemblers that are on either side do not get together to make all that kind of stuff work, which is good as well. And then on this side, we've got we've got 7 of 8 coming out this way as well. This 7 on this side, and these are all just interfaces and things like that with lots of little patterns in. I say little patterns, lots of patterns and storage buses that tell the AE system where things get crafted and all that, right? And we count them out so that by the end of it, there's 2 channels coming out this way and going down that side, and on this side there is 1 channel coming out this way and going that side. But they will go down the sides of each thing and connect up to multiple, which means this will end up having another chance to get up to another 8 channels on it, right? So I'm stuck with just 8 more channels on it. So the way to solve that was to put that point-to-points thing on there. So this is now 8 channels on this one wire coming this way, connecting into this device over here. It's another molecular assembler with some more crafting recipes for all the storage drawers I need. All my storage drawers needs are crafted there for me. And this P2P tunnel is linked to the main terminal, which means it takes one of the channels here, because the second channel is that thing there. So one of the channels here leads to this device, and this device delivers 32 channels of potential to a big cable here. So you can see there's 11 coming out. There's only 1 going down that way and 11 coming out of this point-to-point tunnel. So it's basically as though I've connected it directly to the controller. So with 32 channels running down here, I'm able to do all sorts of cool stuff with lots of different machines. So behind all of that, I've got lots of interfaces. on the tops of different machines. The machines are all saying accept and put back out, so everything that comes in through the interface goes back out into the interface, and when something goes into the interface, it goes back into the AE storage system, or the ME storage system, right? So at the minute we've got patterns for invar, so I could call up on my remote invar, and if I didn't have all that in my inventory right now, let's get all that out, I would have a craftable inventory worth of it, and I could say I just want one invar, and it'll say, well, you need 2 iron ingots and 1 nickel ingot. That is available to make 3 invar ingots. Yes, start. Okay, and then it'll come along and it'll put the relevant items into there, and then shoot them back into the interface, where it will go back into my AE system, and there are the 3 invar ingots. You see? Auto crafting at its finest. Now, if there's any other recipes that I put into the crafting system, into any of these kind of things, it will know how to craft them. So, for instance, in order to craft these redstone comparators, I need redstone torches. So I teach it how to make redstone torches. It will make the redstone torches and then make the redstone comparators for me, and so on and so on and so on. It knows how to cook bricks, so when I order a block of brick, it will cook clay into bricks through the furnace. I think it's this one here. Cook the clay into bricks, and then craft the bricks over here into blocks and put them in the inventory, basically, right? So there's lots of intricate things going on in here, and in order to access them, I don't have to be around the back there. I've got these little areas here that I can just take these off and use these to get into them. Now, because these molecular assemblers are so useful, they're basically the crafting table for the AE system, I've got interfaces on that side and this side. So I haven't yet started putting anything into the interface on this side, but I've got access to it. I could also put one on the back as well. Same with this one. I've got one on either side, and I could put one on the back. These ones have only one on the back right now, and that's enough, because that's basically, with those 4 interfaces, I can do almost everything applied energistics auto crafting. So I can turn this to craftable items, and you can see almost everything applied energistics is there, available for crafting through these 4 molecular assemblers. And it gives a nice round feel to everything as well, doesn't it? And when I order something, these little crafting monitors will show me what I'm ordering, which is also very good. And each of these machines, as I've shown you, can have patterns added at any time to say what to do. So this compactor here knows how to make blaze rods from blaze powder. So whenever I needed some blaze rods, I can now just open up the inventory and I can order blaze rods. So let's just make some blaze rods, just because we need to have some in stock. So I'll order 100, say, okay? And we go next. It's going to automatically produce that. You need 500 blaze powder, and we've got that available. So it'll craft 100 and start. Now it'll be showing me on the crafting monitor that that's the crafting process. This will have been fed all of the blaze powder we need. The rest of it will be coming through here and getting ready to get squashed as it needs it. And it will be keeping track of it all here to tell us how much is scheduled and how much is going through the system, until eventually it's completed the job for me, and that machine has completed the job, and that's registered that it's got all the blaze rods in the system, and everything works perfect. It's all good. I like it. And I'm going to do the same sort of design, the same layout, for the Ender IO machines and the industrial foregoing machines and all those kind of machines on this side. So I can basically auto-craft anything I want. If it needs pulverizing, I can come over here and put it, order it up and put it into pulverizer, one of 3 pulverizers, because there's quite a lot of pulverizing recipes. If I want some liquids, we'll go into Magna Crucible, liquid transposers and Magna Crucibles, and then put that into the AE system as well, but that's fluid AE system. We'll go into that a little bit later on. I've got a furnace, I've got an induction smelter, I've even got a sawmill. And all of my wood recipes that you saw back there of making all of the drawers, they actually go through this process of making planks in the sawmill first, if there's no planks in the system. So whenever I order some planks up, let's craft some planks, right? Let's say 10, right? Start that up. It will feed it into here. It'll feed logs into here, So I get a maximum of, I think it's 6 blocks per log instead of 4 blocks per log. And a byproduct of some sawdust as well. So it's more efficient than just doing the crafting recipe for logs into planks. And I get a byproduct which I can use for something else later as well. So all in all, I like the way it goes, and I like the way it looks, because once I've put all these back on, and it looks like that, that looks pretty sweet, doesn't it? Pretty sweet. And I can do the same on this side. I like that it still does the connected textures, which means I can do the top and the bottom underneath if necessary as well. I can do both, because the connected textures still work. And I can even come and get these inscribers from or molecular assemblers from the top and the bottom as well if I run out of crafting space. But I put 2 more molecular assemblers on this side. I've got 4 on this side. I've got then 8 in this room, all processing everything I need. And so now I've started hooking everything up. So the factory is getting hooked up through this dense cable. 32 channels going that way. Technically, 32 channels carrying potentially 32 channels. And the workshop setup going that way, 24 channels. So going into the factory, I've finished the roof of the factory and done all that tidying up. That goes in down the back there. That's working nicely. Let's go down another level and we'll go into the factory here. So you can see it comes down into here. It's going to go down through the floor into the next level as well and connect up to all those machines. I do have a shut-off switch, so I can turn the whole thing off, and it won't. All of the storage that's in here will not be connected to the ASIC system. That's for sorting and processing and making sure things get put away properly. So when I need to disconnect from the system, I can do so quickly and then reorganize my drives and all that kind of stuff, and then put stuff back in over here and have a look through. And I've got everything in here as well at that moment, which means that I've got all of this warehouse space all sorted out. We're going to have wood and wood products and tree products and all that kind of stuff. We've got mob drops, which we need to make a mob farm, so we'll get that done. Then we've got the sievables, including all of the modded sievable items. We've got the iron, well, the metals, and they get automatically smelted and processed so that they're ready as crafting materials. We've got the other crafting materials in there, and then lots of blank spaces where we're going to have like blocks and vanilla bits and pieces all stored away in this warehouse, all nice and neat and tidy. And all that we've got to basically do is hook up the storage bus, or the storage bus, to the drawer controller. So around the back here I can hit the drawer controller and put things away if I wanted to. So I can do things this way manually if I need to, but I could also just put stuff into the AE system, and each one of those controllers down there is a priority of 1000. So the AE system, whenever I put stuff away, will try and put stuff away into these storage locations first. And if it can't do that, then it will put it away into the AE disk drives here. But I'm trying to keep these at a minimum. Every now and again, I'll take the discs out. Let's take a full one. Take the discs out and put the disc through the ME.IO port. The ME.IO port will basically try and put as many items from the disc, emptying the disc out to 0, from the disc onto the other drives. That means that it will try and put it into the AE system, which means everything off that disc just went and... Can I put anything away into those storage? No? Okay, so I'll put it back over here. And now it will be empty and ready for cleaning up. So I can kind of remove all the storage from there through this back into the system to kind of recycle it back into its storage locations if it gets a bit mixed up during the case of me making things and crafting stuff and sorting things out. Speaking of sorting things out, I was meant to get this done ages ago. This wall. I left it blank, and the ideas were great. Now, I had the idea to go with the fans one side and some kind of venting or piping on the other side, and a few of you did suggest that as well. There were some other suggestions, putting an XP tank up there with great green ego sign on it. I think he's got a big enough ego without me putting ego signs in my base as well. Have you seen the signs in his base? Like, yeah, if you watch his live streams, you'll see that he's got ego written across his walls in all of his different rooms. He's got ego signs up all over the place. He likes to remind himself of his ego. Well, the winners from, I think it was like episode 3, maybe episode 4, something like that. Spellcheck, who come up with an idea that I like, and Spellcheck has been with me a very, very long time. So thank you very much, Spellcheck. Welcome back, and thank you for welcoming me back. There you go. Now I have put you to work in a little glass sieve. And then we've got Wilfron, or Wilfon. Wilfon is in this one. He came up with an idea for the vents as well, and the mechanic, also an idea for the vents. I think you need a spell check, mechanic. And spell check needs a spell check. Yep. And then of course we've got ego, because we need to put him to work. So now we've got some workers, and that's all sorted. And I've upgraded the sag mills in the last episode, and now we've got some stocks and supplies. I've even got more stocks and supplies, because up above on this section, I've now got this section here where we're storing excess cobble, gravel, sand and dust in its compacted forms, and all the old sieving equipment, so that we can always get this out and do some manual sieving over here if we ever need to, just in case. And all of this storage space for all the old stuff that we're not using very much, to keep it out of the AE system. But I've now got a new problem which I would like to solve with you and show you. I was using the thermodynamics pipes to pipe up through the floor and into the storage drawers. I would like to avoid that now. I would like to use the storage buses from the AE system. So I now need to get the stuff from these into an AE system. Now, if I was to just put a chest down around here and just have things going into a chest, like I did over on this side, I just had stuff going into a chest. So all of these emptied out, and when I put the actual saplings on the bonsai trees, they just got all the stuff got sucked out and put into this chest, and then this chest went up and got sorted into the storage system. I need to make sure that it doesn't get blocked, because occasionally this would get blocked up, and we would end up with excess sticks until I put the sticks on here and put a void upgrade on them, so that we wouldn't end up with just tons and tons of sticks in here, so nothing else could come out of the system because sticks are in the way. A backlog. And I've got to be careful over this side as well. Now, when I put this stuff in here, it makes a process happen within these lot, and then that goes up through this and did go into the storage blocks. These on the other hand, the obsidian, they are forever craftable. So I don't really want to void them off, and I don't really want them to be just like endlessly filling a chest, because then when I request any of this stuff, it's not going to be able to go anywhere because it's going to be full of obsidian. So I'm not going to be able to receive any of this requested stuff until the obsidian's done. So that's no good, is it? So what we need is a point-to-point transfer, and this is another advanced system for P2P tunnels. P2P tunnels, I'm actually able to craft them automatically because it doesn't take a lot. A bit of iron and the system's all programmed so I can get them as I want them. To change it around, we would normally hit it with something that transports items. So I've just hit that, and now it's become an item tunnel. I can get rid of that again, just so you can see that it's an item tunnel. Anytime ready. Progress takes... I should have just got my spanner out. There we go. So now it's turned grey, you see. And it is an item tunnel. So that means that the items that are coming from all of this area will all head straight into here. Now this particular block doesn't have any storage capacity whatsoever. So because it has no storage capacity, I can just basically say, if it's going there, it must have a location. So it goes into the storage bus. So now this P2P tunnel is unlinked. And you take a memory card, which fairly simple to make, a memory card, and you right click it. Or shift right click it. There you go. So the shift right click, the new device configuration created and copied to the memory card. So now this memory card remembers that frequency 8644. Yeah. So wherever I put the other tunnel to receive the items into the system, it needs to have the same code on. Well, all of the items from that particular production setup are stored in these areas over here, connected to a storage bus on this level. So if I get in here now, I can add a P2P tunnel just here and set it with the same memory card setup like that. So it's the setup with the same 8644. So it's the same memory card, and put that into a controller slave. Now that controller slave should connect to the controller that it's all in networked of here. Should, in theory, connect to this controller here. So it will start then taking all of the soul sand out from where the production is and bringing it up here, in theory. Let's have a look, see if it's doing it. So I'll put a load of sand in here, 191, and now it's going to start filling these up one by one, transforming at the moment. Is it witch water? It's transforming the witch water. So it's on 20% of transforming the witch water, which means it's already done the process once. The sand's gone in, and then it's sucked out the soul sand when it gets to 100%, and that's gone up through the system into the P2P tunnel, the point-to-point tunnel, and gone from that point through the AE system to the other point and come out into the drawer slave. And so it all gets put away properly, and it will have the limitation of the number of drawers that accept it upstairs without having too many more wires. Now I'm going to reset this one. Now this one's nice and simple. Got a storage bus on there for the sticks, so it knows to store sticks in this storage cell, and then that can start doing this stuff. So we'll just tell it this is where we store sticks, and it will try and store all its sticks in here until it voids it off. And then we can use the sticks from here in crafting recipes and all that as well. It will try and pull out into this furnace and then put that and fill the fuel supply in here first. But that's not a big deal. I don't worry about sticks too much. And then we've got this P2P tunnel coming from here. All the produce from this tree farm goes to the P2P tunnel and then up into its storage up above in the warehouse. So over the course of the last few days doing those, we've picked up quite a lot of questing. Some cobblestone tier 4 and tier 5, the blaze rods, which you saw me making earlier, and then emeralds, which we already had. We've got the crafting components, and we went through all the crafting components and built all those. I actually built the wireless terminal and the wireless crafting terminal, but they didn't seem to select, so I might have to select this and quick complete to claim that reward, because it's been made, but it's not looking like it's there anymore. And what else? Yeah, we did a few more bits and pieces. I've still got cows that I haven't actually collected in yet. That was molten clay cow and a seared stone cow. I got a reward, a seared stone cow reward somewhere, so we got that. And that's about it, really. That's pretty much everything from this section. So we can claim all 11 rewards and see what we get. Some chance cubes, black lotus, black capacitors, drops of evil again, some mechanical things, some torches, some octane capacitors, invar hammers, and spawner changers. All the usual kind of stuff. The stuff that we get lots of all the time. Well, that is all we've got time for today. I figured I would just show you this armor before we go, though, because I've been running around in it for a while. This is crystallized obsidian, and the recipe is quite simple: obsidian, diamonds, and chorus fruit. So I thought they were quite useful. And you get a very tough suit of obsidian armor, pre-enchanted. So it's Aqua Affinity Respiration 3. I get protection 4 on those, fire protection 4 on those, and the boots, I believe they had Depth Strider and Feather Falling. But instead of Feather Falling, I went and put some purple slime boots on because, well, I'm flying around with these chorus fruits and every now and again I drop. And Feather Falling won't be enough necessarily, whereas these slime boots will protect me from any fall damage. But that is all we've got time for in today's episode. So thank you all very, very much for watching today's episode. I hope you click all the links in the description and down below and check out some other bits and pieces I've got available for you. I will see you in the next episode of Stoneblock 2 very soon. Goodbye.